Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Spill the D. I'm Rick, one of your hosts, and I'm joined, as always, with my.
What am
I was
I?
gonna say brand new because it's the new year,
But I'm the
but
only.
you're the same person.
But of the two of us, I'm the only one that's been here since the beginning. So
We'll just go back to Old Faithful with my lovely co-host. Gina. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's the new year. New Year's resolutions are happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can make going to Disney more a New Year's resolution because we went a lot this past year to multiple different Disneylands and Disney Worlds. Do you have a New Year's resolution that is surrounding Disney?
I have a spill the D resolution. I want our
Ooh,
numbers to double at least in 2025.
and you guys can help with that by sharing us with your
Yes,
friends.
yeah, that's mine. Do you have a Disney resolution?
Oh man, a Disney resolution. I don't know if I have any resolutions. I always forget to make them.
It's January 1st right now. Let's hear it.
Hmm. Get back to me on it later. I'll
Okay.
think about it.
All right. Disney related New Year's resolution. Listeners, if you have one, we want to know it. What's your Disney related New Year resolution? 'Cause that's a really interesting question. I would love to hear what people would say.
Yeah.
Eat more Disney snacks, spend less money on Disney, care less about spending money on Disney. Like, there's so much you could do with that. But Happy New Year, everybody!
Yeah, welcome to 2025.
2025. Today, though, we are actually going to be recapping 2024 a little bit. We're going to be giving you our top 5 Disney moments in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we didn't actually clarify. I'm now currently realizing I never asked you. Are we talking about like moments we had at Disney, or are we talking about like things Disney did in 2024?
Moments we had.
Okay, cool. That's how I listed it.
Yeah.
So that works. I mean, and I could have kind of edited mine to make it like, well, Disney did this, but like, okay, but that's perfect.
Yeah, no, this is just personal moments that we had that we remember, and we just did a top 5 list.
It's like
Top
the
5.
ultimate trip recap episode,
Yeah, kind of.
which are some of the fan favorites. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. I think I got some good ones on here.
We only have one piece of news before we talk about them, and it's a doozy. I'm pretty excited about this one. There are some stipulations I want to make sure you guys understand. Disney has brought back the free dining plan. So they brought it back before for Disney Plus subscribers and I think Visa card holders. So the dining plan now is going to be available if you book a qualifying 3-night, 3-day vacation package. You can add on the free Disney dining plan with that.
Okay.
Now, here are some stipulations. First of all, certain rooms don't qualify. 3-bedroom grand villas don't qualify. I think the Little Mermaid suites, for some reason, don't qualify. It's all about how Disney wants to do it. It's their deal. They can do what they want. Start with the dates that it's available, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail about it.
All right, so the dates that this deal are available are January 2nd to February 10th, May 27th to June 26th, and July 7th to August 6th.
So you have to be staying on Disney property within those days. Now, something that I have not seen them do before, they might have done this many, many years ago, but that they're doing with this release. Value and moderate resorts that are getting the quick service dining plan, they get 2 quick service meals a day, 1 snack a day, and then your resort refillable mug. Where deluxe resorts are going to get what they just call the Disney dining plan. It's the standard one, and they're going to get 1 quick service meal per day, 1 table service meal, 1 snack, and 1 refillable mug. And when I'm saying per day, I'm sorry, it's per night of the stay.
Yeah.
Per night that you're staying. So that could make it honestly cheaper for you to upgrade to a deluxe.
Yeah.
Rather than a moderate, if that's how you have your vacation set up right now. So do that math. Have your 407 and Beyond travel agent do that math for you. Figure out what is the cheapest way to go about it that you can get free dining. Free dining is not always the cheapest way to go.
Yeah.
It really isn't. Sometimes it is cheaper just to pay out of pocket. It's much more convenient, but it's not always cheaper. So sit down and do that math, or call our friends at 407 and Beyond Vacation Co. and have them book this for you and do that math for you. We are the official podcast of 407 and Beyond Vacation Co. They are a Disney and Universal Orlando travel agency. They book and plan vacations to Disney, Universal, Disney Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, and so much more, and it doesn't cost any extra to book with them. Their services are 100% free, and their travel agents do everything so that all you have to do is show up and have fun. So you can get a quote at 407vacations.com, and they will happily do this math for you to figure it out. I was just talking to one of the travel agents, and they said that their client was supposed to be staying, I believe, at a moderate resort, Port Orleans, and it was cheaper for them to upgrade to Animal Kingdom with the free dining plan.
Okay.
because then they were getting the deluxe dining rather than the modern, and everything worked out that I think they were either going to save money or it was going to cost them like $50 more. So like that's like, okay, yes, I will absolutely upgrade that. So have the travel agent do that math for you. Save you a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are you excited? Are you ready?
I am. I'm really excited. Like I said, we went to Disney a lot this year. More than I even remembered when I was scrolling through pictures looking for just things to spark memories of things that happened to us throughout the year. I was like, I forgot we went on this trip. I forgot we went on this trip. Oh yeah, we did go here.
We were very blessed this year.
Yeah, we went a lot. So we were there January. We were there
April.
We were there
May.
We were there in Disneyland Paris
That was May. So we'll clarify a little bit. Walt Disney World in January, we stayed at Saratoga Springs. Mm-hmm. Walt Disney World in April, we stayed at Pop Century. That was for the 407 and Beyond 407 week celebration. Yeah. That was a weekend. And then we went to Disneyland Paris in May as part of our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And then we went to California for Disneyland and Disney California Adventure in September.
Yeah.
And then in November, we went to Walt Disney World and we stayed at All-Star Sports, the Riviera, and Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah. We did a lot.
That was a lot of trips. So what's that, 5 total?
Yeah.
I like those numbers.
And 3 parks.
Let's up those next year.
That's our resolution?
Yeah, we're going to up those numbers.
5 trips?
More than 5 trips. Or we'll look and see how many nights it was total. We're going to up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
It's a good resolution. Spend more money.
Spend more money on Disney. No, not spend more money on Disney. Care less about how much I'm spending on Disney.
Right. It's all about the wording.
It's all about the wording. I'm just going to not worry as much. All right, so are we going like 5 to 1, no particular order?
Let's go 5 to 1.
Okay, mine are in no order, so I'll have to figure that out. So you go first. What's your number 5?
Okay, so my number 5, and this one is not a long moment. Like this one is kind of like almost a snapshot of a lot of things that happened throughout the day, and this was kind of the culmination of it. And this one was actually out in California Adventure, and it was watching when we stopped to watch all the lights turn on in Cars Land.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it was really cool, and it was kind of like a throwback because we grew up and Cars was like a popular movie, and we were really into Cars. I was really into Cars anyway. Like I still enjoy watching the movie every once in a while, and that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie when the lights turn on. Unfortunately, we watched it around Halloween time, so we didn't get like the regular music with it.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was really cool watching everything light up, and then just walking up and down the road with all the lights on and the cozy cone on and all that stuff. I just thought it was really cool, and it was just a fun moment.
And you just felt like it really like captured the whole trip, kind of thing, like just a nice.
Yeah, it was like because one of the things that I really enjoyed about California Adventure was experiencing new Disney. Like we had done it a little bit with Disneyland Paris when we went there, but there was a lot of repeat things at Disneyland Paris, I felt, and compared to Walt Disney World. And then when we went to Disneyland and we got to go to California Adventure and see all that stuff, I felt like it was my first like, this is really new Disney. You know what I mean?
Sort of. It's so funny because we talked about this a few weeks ago, but I see it differently. I felt like Paris was where I was like, this is new Disney. And then we got to California, and while some things were new, I actually noticed that Paris copied California more than it copied Florida. So I was like, oh, we already did this in Paris. That's so funny. Yeah. So it's funny. I think we just are seeing it in a different order in our memories. Yeah.
Well, so Disneyland, yes, I do agree, was fairly similar to Paris, but California Adventure to me was the new.
Oh yeah, that was
the new stuff, and that's kind of where
entity.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this. Is like California Adventure. Cars Land is in California Adventure, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, like, it just kind of encompasses the whole, like, this is, like, one of the first new things that I feel like I've had in a while at Disney.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Yeah. And it was fun to just, like, feel like I was, like, not that I don't enjoy going to Disney all the time and experiencing the same things over, because things change from trip to trip all the time. But, like, for a while, I felt like I hadn't had, like, this is a brand new Disney experience, and I think that was kind of my first, like, this is my brand new Disney experience right now.
Because even sometimes when you're going to the parks and you're going to Walt Disney World and you're doing something new every time and you're making it a point, you're still going back to Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
So, like, we're still going to go to Magic Kingdom,
Yeah.
and, like, there's only so much new you could do at Magic Kingdom. But then we could go to a different restaurant. But that's still, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that was a whole park that you were completely engulfed in a new world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that.
So, number 5 for me. It was fun, but I got things that are better.
Okay. My number 5 was Disney at Christmas this year.
Why is that?
So I love Disney at Christmas. It is one of my favorite places to be at Christmas time. Not between Christmas and New Year's, just at Christmas time in general. Like November, December, I want to go to Disney. I want to be there. And we did Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and it was Ric's first time, so that was very fun. We also did Jollywood Nights, which was both of our first times attending that. So I think just the extra oomph that we had to our already magical Disney Christmas experience. We also got to do Moonlight Magic, which was a DVC event. So and that was very Christmas themed as well. It wasn't Christmas themed, but like the park was decorated and they had things out. They had a Santa Goofy out. So we got almost like 3 Christmas parties, 3 nights in a row. And it's kind of the same idea of we were in Disney, but these were 3 specific things that were not just going to a normal Disney park. Yeah. So it was 3 things that just made it twice as magical. And then Christmas on top of that, making it even more magical. Like, it was just magic on magic on magic, which is my favorite thing about Disney. So I thoroughly enjoyed Disney at Christmas time this year. We also got to Resort Hop, which was amazing. And it was also technically supposed to be for celebrating our anniversary, and then the trip kind of spiraled and went from like a weekend to a week. And there's so much happened, but we also were celebrating our anniversary. So there was just so many high notes to that trip. Okay. That I just kind of summed it up by saying Disney at Christmas. Because I was just going to say Jollywood Nights because it was something new, but then I started thinking about how great it was at the Christmas party and getting to watch you experience all of those things for the first time. And we had one of my Disney college program roommates and her husband and their baby with us and getting to watch them do it and getting to watch their baby see things. Like, there was just so many aspects that I think back to that trip, and it just makes me happy.
Can I make you get a little bit more specific here and ask, what was the moment during that trip that you were like, this is a good trip?
See, a lot of times I do have one. I know what yours was. Yours was when we were riding the Triceratops spin, you said. And you were just looking at it over and decided that. Probably, this isn't really like a sentimental, this is a good trip moment, but this is when I felt like the Disney gods were on our side. Okay. When we lined up for the fireworks and there was tape on the ground for the parade. Uh-huh. And we stood right behind the parade tape. And everybody who walked by saw us standing on the tape and thought that they weren't allowed to stand in front of us. So then nobody stood in front of us for the fireworks. There was probably at least 3 to 4 feet between us and the next person. And I just thought that it wasn't crowded, but then you pushed through the crowd to try and get a coffee and came back crowded. And you were like, this place is mobbed. But we had so much room because nobody thought that they were allowed to stand in front of us. So it wasn't like a sentimental, like, oh my gosh, this is so magical moment. It was just a funny, like, sometimes Disney rewards you, and that was it. Like, that was like, this is so funny. Yeah. This is how well this trip is going. Like, this is one of those, like, no, like, this is one of those, like, things are just going right today. Yeah. And that was the moment of, like, things are just going right.
That's fair.
No one is standing around us for the fireworks. We were dancing. We were, like, waving our bubble wand and dancing before the fireworks started.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And no one stood in front of us. So
it's amazing what a piece of tape will do.
People were literally walking by and they would see the tape, stop, and go, "Oh, we can't stand here," and leave. And we were just like, "Well, we're not gonna tell them," like, because eventually someone's gonna stop here.
Yeah, someone's gonna be like, "I'm just gonna stand here."
Yeah, so let's see how long we can push this. And the whole fireworks show, no one stood in front of us.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. That's my moment.
That's fine. Doesn't have to be a sentimental moment.
All right, what's your number 4?
All right, number 4. Oh, this one is. It's low on my list, but
high in your heart.
Honestly, it could make a push for top 2 or top 3 because it was just a cool moment and something that I don't know if we're gonna experience again. And it was actually at the beginning of the year on one of our earlier trips. I forget if it might have been in January when we went, but it was when we went on the safari and it was downpouring.
That was last year.
No, it wasn't.
That was 2023 with my mom and Sarah.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Are you sure?
Moonlight Magic. It was before Moonlight Magic started. That was with my mom and Sarah, 2023.
Are you sure?
Yep, I have pictures of us dripping wet eating mac and cheese in August of 2023. Ooh, you need a new number 4.
I think you're lying.
I am not lying.
All right, fine. You go 4. I'll think of another number 4.
Okay. Ooh, I don't know how to order these. I might just start throwing them out there. So this one I'm really excited about, and I feel like it was a huge accomplishment in 2024 for us. So that's why I'm going with this one. We bought into Disney Vacation Club, and we've already experienced a few of the amazing resorts that we have been able to stay at. We did Moonlight Magic. We got the discounted annual passes. We've really taken advantage of it in 2024 almost immediately after purchasing it.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah, so I'm going with buying into Disney Vacation Club and all of the advantages that have come with it that we have already taken advantage of.
What's your favorite resort that we've used points for so far?
The Riviera.
Okay.
Our home resort.
Do you think our next trip in a few weeks is going to dethrone that?
Yes, we are staying at the Polynesian, and we are staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge in a safari view this time. Okay. Because we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge standard view because that's all that was available, and we just needed a room. Mm-hmm. So it was just a parking lot view. Yeah. So I do think the safari view, I've done it before, you haven't, and I'm excited to see your reaction to that. Okay. We're also going to have Brian and Ellie with us, who are coffee drinkers, so I think we'll happily sit on the balcony all morning and just drink their coffee with you. Yeah. So the 3 of you will be nice and happy out there, and I'm just going to hope that a giraffe licks my face. But I do think the Polynesian is going to dethrone the Riviera. I don't think Animal Kingdom Lodge will dethrone the Riviera, but I think the Polynesian will. Okay. It worked at the Polynesian, so I spent so many hours there in love with it. So I think that actually staying there and in the new tower on top of that, it's going to dethrone it. You heard it here first.
We'll check back in.
We'll check back. What's your favorite that we've stayed at?
I did really enjoy the Riviera. I thought it was a really nice hotel, really nice location. The food and drink inside are delicious. So I think that's definitely number 1. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I think Polynesian is going to dethrone it as my favorite. I think it's going to be close. Okay. Because I don't have that emotional connection to it that you do. So, I'm going to be a little more objective about it, I think.
I'll be objective. So. I can be objective. Now, if they wouldn't have gotten rid of so much of Lilo and Stitch, if Lilo and Stitch were still there, no objection. No, completely, yeah. But yeah, so that was mine. We saved up for a very long time to make that possible, so I was very happy to finally make it happen.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you. What else you got?
All right, well, on the fly, I think I'm going to have to go with Moonlight Magic that we did at Animal Kingdom when we were there for our last trip.
You stole mine. Basically what I said the last 2.
That's not fair, though, because you just said the whole trip.
Well, then last time I said taking advantage of Moonlight Magic and doing it. Sorry, go ahead. Tell me why. Tell me about Moonlight Magic.
So, Moonlight Magic was fun because we had gotten to Animal Kingdom. We spent a little bit of time with Bruce, getting some food, getting some drinks. And then we started Moonlight Magic. And one of the things that we decided we were going to do was try to eat as many ice cream things as we could, which did not last very long because I guess you just can't eat as much ice cream as you hope you can, which I probably should have learned my lesson from the kitchen sink. But we didn't eat as much ice cream as I thought we were going to. And then it was just fun. It was just fun going around with the crew that we had, trying a bunch of food, riding a bunch of rides. Dinoland at night was awesome. Like you said, one of my favorite moments from this year was just riding Triceratops Spin, which is a really weird one to have.
I actually posted the video on Instagram where you can, if you guys look at my little 2024 recap, I posted, if you scroll over, there's a video and you can see how happy Rick actually is on Triceratops Spin. So I'm happy that I caught that moment on film. What were the odds of that?
Yeah, it was just fun. It was fun watching our friend's daughter have a great time and enjoy all the lights and all of the characters and everything, and watching them enjoy watching her having a good time.
Watching me, watching him, watching them, watching her.
But yeah, it was just an overall good night. So I'll make that my number 4.
I like it. That's a good number 4. Good stand-in.
Yeah. So you want me to go for my number 3?
Yes, go for it.
All right. So this is the one I think we might have repeated I just think yours might be a little bit higher on the list.
Okay.
When we were out in California for the half marathon, one of the things that we did, and this was my first time doing anything like this, was we took a tour of Walt's apartment.
So I actually couldn't decide if I wanted to say it for 2 or for 3. So I'll say this for 3 as well. Going into Walt's apartment,
we can talk about it for number 2.
We can just talk about it because I was back and forth on where I wanted to put it.
Okay. Yeah. So after we ran the half marathon, literally the day that we ran the half marathon, we decided we were going to sign up for a tour.
No, we signed up before.
We did, but I'm saying we decided that we were going to do it the day that we ran the half marathon.
I don't want to give the listeners the illusion they can just walk up. Sometimes you can, but we signed up 2 months in advance.
Yeah.
60 days out, we went on and we booked this tour.
Yeah. So we talked about it after our trip. We recapped it a little bit, but just for, quick recap for anyone who doesn't remember or didn't hear. We did the Walt's apartment tour, which takes you up and down Main Street. They do some history of Main Street, and then they take you into Walt's apartment that he lived in while he was alive and working at Disney. And they give you more history than you'll be able to soak up.
Soaked it all up. I'm a Disney sponge.
And you get this really good cookie and a drink at the end.
Yes, I took the cookie home. We ate it for a little bit.
Yeah. I ate the whole thing while we were there, and I felt sick because it was a huge cookie.
It was a lemon cookie, funny enough. Walt loves citrus. Who knew? Learned that fact.
Yeah.
And then you did get a drink. Yeah, I loved it so much. I love Disney history. I've done Keys to the Kingdom at Walt Disney World. I'm trying to make it so that Rick can do it. Doing my best. It already sold out for when I tried. I didn't think about it until too late. But they're just such cool backstage tours. And this one didn't go as much backstage. It did because you got to go into the apartment and everything. But you just walked up and down Main Street and you learned kind of just fun facts. Here's some fun facts about Walt. It wasn't super tied to Main Street the way that the one that they do at Walt Disney World was. It was much more tied to Walt and little tidbits of information, and some Main Street facts, some Walt facts. Then you went to his apartment and you learned all about him, all about his wife Lily. You learned all about them, which was really cool. And then, yeah, like you said, we sat on the balcony. I loved it so much. Being in his apartment was a dream come true because you see so many photos of it. They had the light that they said that he would light when he was there so that everyone knew. We got to take a picture with the lamp. Never thought I would want a picture with a lamp, but here we are. That's so cool. I loved it so much. I love Disney history, and I thoroughly recommend it. It was a little pricey, but if you like Disney history, I would recommend doing it.
Do you have a favorite moment from the tour?
Yes, when the lights turned on. So I don't like ghosts.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I've been very open about the fact that I don't like ghosts. And something happened, and we were talking about something specific with Walt and a light and something, and everyone's magic bands, I think, and lit up, and a light went on.
Yeah.
It was something creepy where everything went on at once, and we were all like, what the heck is happening? Even the tour guide was like, well, that's never happened before. Yeah. So if she was blowing smoke, I don't know. And that was a rigged thing, I don't know. But if it was real, it was really cool. I've never felt more like I was with Walt Disney. It was really cool. Do you have a favorite moment?
Yeah, so like Gina said, we were out on the balcony at one point. At the end of the tour, you just go out on the balcony, you sit, you talk, you have a cookie and some drink. And one of the things that the tour guide mentioned was that what Walt and his family would do was they would go on this balcony to watch the parade because there was a viewing area on the balcony that you could see the parade. And they don't have that specific viewing area open yet, but
Not anymore,
yeah. But you can kind of see into that area, and I'm tall enough that I could see over some of the guards and stuff that they had, that the parade did come by while we were up there. And I got to watch a little bit of the parade from the balcony.
Which is what Walt and his grandkids used to do.
Yeah. So
it's so cool.
Yeah.
So basically, their balcony, the apartment is in the firehouse. It's above the firehouse. And then the balcony goes on top of the building that's connected to the firehouse. Yeah. So you're on top of a building. So because of that, they have a fence up. So when you're sitting on the balcony, no one can see you. Yeah. You're completely blocked off. But when they used to sit up there, they could see right out to Main Street. Yeah. So you would just look over the fence and then you can see everything that was happening. It was really cool.
Yeah. And there's, like I said, there's a little area that you could see through and you could kind of see the parade. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That was very cool to get to watch. And the characters waved up. Yeah. At least in my memory they did. They might not have actually, but my brain has edited it so they looked me dead in the eyes. And, hey Gina, how's it going up there? Her Heard you got a message from Walt earlier when the lights turned on.
And that's the magic of Disney.
And that's the magic of Disney. You can change your memory to be whatever you want.
Exactly.
Mickey Mouse, look me dead in the eye.
So.
There we go, number 3.
Number 3.
All right, give us your number 2.
You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah, well, that was kind of yours and mine.
Yeah. All right. So, again, you already used the entire trip, but I'm going to use one specific night of this trip. Jollywood Nights was one of my favorites.
Okay.
I loved the music. I loved the performers. I loved the food. There's a few specific moments from this night that like really locked in for me how fun the trip and this specific night were, and it was going around and doing food tasting basically, where we just tried like all the foods. We tried some drinks, just anything that was basically special for Jollywood Nights. And then I talked about it when we did our trip recap. Standing outside of Hollywood Tower Hotel with the live music and the dancers was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And those kind of just like locked it in for me that like this was a good trip.
And it's so funny that made your list because at the end of it all, you said that you would go back to Very Merry before you get back to Jollywoods.
Yeah.
And that you would recommend Very Merry for most people before Jollywoods. So it's so funny that even though those are like the on paper results that you got, that in your memory though, it's Jollywood.
Well, yes, and I think I talked about this when we did the comparison episode. Like I can objectively say that Very Merry Christmas Party was a better party, but me personally, I enjoyed Jollywood Nights better because it just appealed to me in different ways. It had one of my favorite shows that I've seen at Disney in a while, which was the I don't remember what it's called. The Glisten, the ice skating show. I thought that was really cool. So for me, it was Jollywood Nights, and I had a great time that night, especially with my light up jacket. It was super cool.
It was flashing everyone. That
guy loved that joke.
We walked past the cast member who had to have made that joke 3 times.
At least.
Every time we passed him, he was like, "You're flashing everyone." All right. My number 2. This is how I wrote it. I'm just going to read it exactly how I wrote it.
Okay.
Bro, we went to Paris.
That's fair.
We went to Paris.
Yeah, Disneyland Paris.
It's crazy. Just the whole concept of the fact that we went to Disneyland Paris in 2024 is wild to me.
Yeah.
What's even wilder is that I'm constantly looking to see flights because I want to go back because I loved Disneyland Paris. And if the flights were cheaper, we'd probably go there all the time because it was only a 6-hour flight. That's the exact same as it was for us to get to California.
Yeah.
The biggest issue was the time change, but it was cheap. It wasn't that expensive, and I loved it. The city of Paris, I've never had a desire to go to Paris. I'm not a romantic. I'm not whatever. I did not care to go to Paris, but we went because I was like, we're not going to go just for Disney. Like, we're going to do the city. I love the city. It was great. That place was fantastic. I am so ready to go back to Paris and Disneyland Paris. I want to go to the parks. I want to stay in a different hotel. The hotels were all awesome. I would splurge this time if we went back. If we went just to Paris and then home. Because we did it on our honeymoon where we were doing
of our honeymoon,
so many other things. So we were like, that's where we're going to save some money. We'll stay at the Cars Hotel, which was fantastic.
It was a nice hotel.
It was a really great hotel. But if we went back, I'd probably splurge and do one of the little bit more expensive ones just to try a new one, you know? Okay. But we went to Paris. It was so good. Yeah.
Any specific moments from the trip that really locked it in for you?
I think a lot about us riding Dumbo for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why. It could be because while we were up there, we realized we had never ridden Dumbo together. But I do. I think about us riding Dumbo a lot. I think about, I don't know, there's just little things. I remember, how scared I was on Tower of Terror.
Okay.
That's like a core memory from it. Eating the food in Avengers Campus.
Okay.
What shawarma? We got shawarma.
Yeah. Oh, that was good shawarma.
That was good shawarma. So that's like a moment I think about. You know how you just have like core moments where you're like, that's the memory like that I'm thinking of. You have the core memories of that moment.
I have 2 of those from Paris.
What are they?
One, weirdly enough, is the Alice in Wonderland maze that we did while it was raining.
I think about that a lot too, and I'm not an Alice in Wonderland person.
It was fun though. I had a good time. And the other one is your obsession and excitement with the cones of salami that they had.
Oh my gosh, they were so good. One of the best things about Paris is that they just eat salami like it's a chip. I got salami everywhere, but yeah, Disneyland Paris sold it in a cone.
Yeah.
So you'd get like a little paper cone filled with just salami chips.
Yep.
It was so good. I thought that was a full everywhere in Europe thing. Like once I was like, cool, this is gonna be
This is
2
gonna be
weeks.
great.
2 weeks of salami. It was mainly just Paris.
Yeah.
Just Paris. Well, France, because when we went to other cities in France, it also was pretty heavy on the salami.
Mhm.
But I thought like Italy would have more salami. No, it was really just France that was
Yeah.
like that we're eating it like it's a potato chip.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of my core memories from Paris.
I loved that salami. That
Top
was-
5, but top 1 is my number 1 on the list, so it's not number 1.
Oh, from Paris?
Mhm.
That's exciting. Do you want to go ahead and say it? I can be done.
No, you can keep talking.
I mean, I kind of said it all, bro. We went to Paris.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
it
that's
was great,
insane.
and I would go back again in a heartbeat.
Oh, okay. I have something else, but I think it's your number 1, so I won't add it.
It probably is.
Yeah, I'll let you say it, and then I'll tell you
If it was it or
if
not.
if I was about to say how much I love this in Paris, because I think it's about to be your number 1.
Okay. So, my number 1 Disney moment.
Wait, I'm so sorry. There was a dragon under the castle.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's not his number 1. I just think that was really
that was
cool.
pretty cool.
Under the castle in Paris, you went in and there was a dragon that would wake up and look at you and then go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Now say the thing that we both love that's your number 1.
Okay, so my number 1 thing was in Paris. Big shock. The best show that I've seen at Disney ever, and maybe just in general. I think about it like all the time. And we actually went to Disney on Ice with our nieces and nephews the other day, and they played the music from
We were the only ones who knew the song.
it. But watching A Million Splashes of Color, which is one of the parades they do in Disneyland Paris, was the best Disney experience that I've had in a while. Because it was such a good performance. The music was amazing. The costumes were great. The characters were great. Just like the whole thing, the whole vibe, the setup that they had at like Main Street and where the castle was and everything. They have like multiple stages and they just kind of like go in between the stages and all around and everything. It was just a lot of fun. And we watched it, what, like 3 times while we were
At
there?
least, it was at least once a day, but it was more similar to it like kind of was a parade. It was like a mix of like a parade, a cavalcade, and a show because
Yeah.
they would come down Main Street, stop at the hub, perform this show. In the middle of the show, the floats would still be moving around the
Yeah.
circle that was the hub, and then they would go back down Main Street to end it.
Yeah.
So there was times that we call it like just the end of it. The first time we saw it, we sat and we waited for it. Like there was times that we walked up and it was starting, so we watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
We had to. It was at least 3 times, but I think that we were there for 3 days, and we definitely watched it more than one time a day. The one day,
Yeah.
it was so good.
Yeah, it was a great show. If you don't plan on getting out to Paris at all, and you want to know what we're talking about, just look it up on YouTube. I'm sure it's there. But if you're gonna get out to Paris, somebody or you want to get out to Paris, don't look it up. Just be surprised because
So good.
it was so good.
It was. The music was amazing. The dancers amazing. Everything was
Mm.
so good. And we watched it from the inside. There, you can go on the outside or the inside to watch it. If you're in the inside, you're stuck there the whole show. And that's where we were the first time we saw it. And it was there. You're surrounded. You were surrounded by characters and performers and fun. It's just
it's
fun.
a high energy show, is what it is. Like there's
Yes.
like everyone that is doing the performing just looks like they're having a great time. Everybody watching the performers looks like they're having a great time. Like it was just a good overall experience.
Yeah, I agree. And that was what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I
because it really was. But you talked too highly about it. I was like, that's gonna be his number. He hasn't said it yet. That's gotta be his number 1.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's your number 1.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It is. It's so good. And when the music started at Disney on Ice, I turned to Rick and I go, this is the Paris music. Because they used from 2 different shows, I think. Or maybe 2 different parts of A Million Splashes of Color.
Mm.
So it started, and I'm like, this is the Paris music. And you were like, what? And then the finale was like the song from
Yeah.
the show. And I look over, and he's like jamming out. I was like, okay, so you know this time. Got it.
So the way I made my list was I went through everything that happened this year, and then I sat there and I thought for a minute, and the first thing that popped in my head was number 1. The second thing that popped in my head was number 2, because like
Okay.
in my mind that's just how the order should go. Like
Okay.
the first memory that I have from this year, that's number 1, and when I think about what we did this year, that's the first thing I think about.
That's fair. I also pulled the sword out of the stone in Disneyland Paris.
You did.
It might have been
I
broken.
was gonna say, wasn't it broken?
I think it was broken, but I did it. You did it too.
As opposed to when we went with 4 or 7 and 5 of us couldn't get it.
No, it's so ridiculous. That also was posted, that picture, because it was just so sad. We tried. It's okay.
All right. Your number one Disney moment of 2024.
Do you know what it is?
I don't actually.
Really?
No. Because I thought it was going to be Walt's apartment tour.
No. So this moment is actually because it was one of the. Like I said, I'm not romantic. I'm not sentimental. I'm not. I try to be. This was a moment that I got like almost a knot in my stomach, immediate rush of joy, and I had the thought of this is going to be a core memory. Like
Okay.
it was like everything that washed over me. I was like, this is it. And like I did this was when I was running the Dopey Challenge,
Okay.
the marathon. The way that they have the finish line set up is you turn a corner and it's like 0.1 ahead of you, maybe 0.05.
See it right
So
there.
it's right there. You see it and now you're running to the finish line. And when I turned that corner and I saw that finish line, that was the moment that I was like, heck yeah, I did that. I just ran 48.6 miles. This is insane. I'm finishing a marathon right now at my favorite place in the world with my favorite people and more of my favorite people once I crossed the finish line. Like it was just, everything was so perfect and magical. I'm going to use the word again. But it was like everything was so perfect and it was like, I did that.
Yeah.
We did that. Like me, Ellie, and Meg, we did that.
Yeah.
And there was just like a overwhelming feeling of like pride in myself, which is a wild feeling. Like it was just such a weird thing to like I've been excited for myself for things before. Like I've won sporting events and thought like, yeah, look at us go. But like, I don't know if I'd ever done anything that was like me. Like
individual, yeah.
Yeah, like I had Ellie and Meg with me, but like at the end of the day, like I'm the only one that's getting me on that over that line.
Yeah.
So yeah, the feeling I had when not even when I crossed the finish line, it was when I turned the corner and I saw it, and it was like I just have to get to there. I can do that.
I can do that.
I can do that. I just did this.
Easy
I
enough.
just ran 26.2 miles. I ran 48.6 miles. I did that.
That's fair. That's a understandable thing.
Yeah, that was my number one. It was one of the best moments I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I was
honestly,
gonna say, you're gonna remember that one forever, probably.
Yeah,
so.
one of the best moments I've ever had in my life, let alone at Walt Disney World. And I hope to have that moment again, whether it's because of a whole marathon, because I do the Dopey Challenge again, whatever it is, I hope to have that moment again. And I hope that everyone at some point in their life has that moment. It doesn't have to be from running a marathon.
Yeah.
But like the feeling I felt when I turned the corner, I get it. I get the high when people are like, you just did this, I'm never doing this again, and then they finish it and they sign up for another one.
Yeah.
I get it. Because I turned the corner and I was like, I want to feel this again. I don't want to feel how I felt at mile 17 again, but I want to feel this again. Yes. I want this moment again. I want them to hand me a medal again. So I get it. And it was so great.
That's nice.
That's my moment.
That's a good moment.
That was my number one for 2024.
That's a good moment.
Thank you.
Core memory.
Hopefully we'll do it together. We'll do Dopey Challenge together at some point.
I won't get your hopes up on that one.
Hopefully I'll do the Dopey Challenge and you'll run the half marathon with me.
That's more realistic.
Or just the marathon. You can do the Goofy Challenge. You'll just cut out the 5K and the 10K.
No. I don't think I'll ever run a marathon. I think 13.1 is the farthest I'm going to go.
I'll get him there. I'll get him there eventually. Okay, so we have some stuff coming up in 2025. Do you have anything specific you're excited for in 2025? I wrote down 3 things.
I did not write anything down.
That's fine. I can say my 3 and you'll probably agree with them.
Okay.
I'm excited to, after all of these years, finally experience Festival of the Arts.
Yes, that is a good one.
Our trips have never worked out to be during Festival of the Arts. Even this year in January, it started the week after we left.
Yeah.
And then when we've gone in February, it ended the week before we got there. Like, we have never had it work out right that we've made it for Festival of the Arts. So I'm excited.
We purposely did it this year.
We said we're going for that. Like, this trip was to make it to Festival of the Arts. So I'm excited for Festival of the Arts. I'm excited for our big family trip that we're doing with our whole family.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of people, a lot of kids, and it's very fun doing Disney with kids, especially when they're not yours.
Especially when you can give them back to their parents.
Although, I mean, I can't speak to it, but I would assume it's probably actually more fun when they're your kid, but...
At times.
At times. But for just the let's go have fun and then give them back aspect, amazing. Bring your nieces and nephews. It's great. So I'm really excited for that and staying at a new resort with everyone. And I am really excited. This is kind of Disney, kind of not. We are going in April for a few days before we do the 407 and Beyond cruise for the 407 week. So I'm excited for another 407 week, and I have a feeling that there will be other people there a few days before, so we'll be spending more time with the 407 and Beyond agents a few days before. So I think that's going to be a very good time.
Yeah, those are good things.
Thank you.
I'm excited for all those as well.
Those are my high hopes for 2025. Before we close out, did you think of your 2025 resolution? Your Disney resolution?
Not. I was busy thinking of my number 4 thing because apparently I missed the wrong year. So
care less about spending money in Disney.
I would love to do that. I don't know if that's ever going to be a possibility for me, but I'll try my best.
Ask for gift cards for every birthday and holiday so that I care less for spending money in Disney.
There you go.
Corey, got anything?
No, I don't.
How about a Spill the D resolution? Double our numbers is a big ask.
Double our numbers is a big ask.
I'm sticking with it though, guys. Tell your friends, tell your family. They're going to Disney. Tell them to listen to Spill the D.
My goal for Spill the D is to do, how about we say, 3 live shows this year.
Okay. You can knock them all off in the next month if we want. That's easy. 3 live shows. You guys heard it. If you have something specific you want done as a live show, send it to us on social media. We are at Spill the D Podcast on Instagram, Spill the D Pod on TikTok, or email us, spilldpod@gmail.com, and let us know what you want the live episodes to be. We usually make them some kind of game or a bracket where we'll have you guys help us vote on things. So let us know what you want it to be, and we can make it happen.
Yeah.
We can do 4. We'll make them like quarterly.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can definitely make that happen. Let us know what you want and what date and time works best for you.
Yeah.
Not date and time, but like let us know like, oh, I would prefer live shows be at night or maybe on the weekend in the afternoon. Like, what do you prefer? Yeah.
So be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. You can go see our 2024 recap photos and videos that Gina posted earlier. You can message us, let us know what you want us to talk about in 2025, and let us know what your favorite memories from 2024 at Disney were. But that's all we have for you guys this week. So until next time, we will
see you at the castle. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!